to get admission, where do I start? So how do I start the process?
First step is definitely choosing the major. You need to know which program you want to study. Is it business or is it, I don't know, mathematics, medicine, whatever. So you need to find your passion and what you want to pursue for the next 4 years, for the next 2 years for master's, for the next 3 years for PhD. Secondly, to check and find which country or like which university you want to apply for, because there are so many options out there. So you can maybe narrow down from the country first, and then from the country, if you already found a country that you love, then you can find the universities that you love. And
Mm-hmm.
there are also some criteria in choosing the university. Usually it's all about the reputation, and then the price matters as well, especially if you don't have, very high budget. Maybe you have like a very limited budget, then usually you're more price conscious with choosing the university. And then the location do matters as well. Because, for example, in China, China is actually so big. I didn't even realize it myself until I arrived there. But because China is so big, the environment, the weather can be very, very different. If you visited Shenyang, for example, in the northern part of China, versus if you visited Guangzhou, you will find the difference. It is very shockingly different, and the weather is very extreme. Like it could be very, very cold, like minus 15 degrees Celsius in Shenyang. Meanwhile, in Guangzhou or in Shenzhen, I don't think it's that cold, right? It's probably like 10,
No,
15
it never
degrees.
gets cold. It gets cold for like 1 month in January or
Yeah.
February, and it's maybe like 13 degrees, and then it looks like people are dying of cold, and then it gets hot again.
Yeah, exactly. So it is very different. In Beijing, I think in winter it could reach up to like -5, but normally it's like 0 or like 1 degree Celsius. So it's still bearable, but coming from somebody who lived in a tropical country all my
Yeah.
life, I had trouble adjusting to that as well in the first place. So I think that's also something that you should consider, because
Yeah.
where you come from and your destinations you should check, and the weather, it is very important. I didn't
Mhm.
realize it myself until I came to Beijing, and then I experienced winter, and every time it is close to winter time, I'm like very anxious because I hate it, because for me it's too
Mm.
cold. It's something that you should consider.
Yeah, definitely. I had a friend, a classmate from Ghana, and he initially
Mhm.
studied in Harbin. He transferred from Harbin to Shenzhen because he couldn't handle the cold. Now, if you guys don't know, Harbin is at the almost like the border with Russia, and it's
Yeah.
incredibly cold in winter. I think it gets like -20, -30. It's very, very cold, and it's cold for a long time of the year. It's beautiful, but he, as someone who came from a very hot country around the equator, he couldn't handle it, and he transferred because of the
Mhm.
weather, because he hated the weather. So just keep that in mind, because not a lot of people keep that in mind for the weather. But if you really hate how you're feeling like for most of the year, you might want to transfer because of it. That's definitely something to consider. And then, yeah, after that, I guess the process of doing it is you can either, if you want to study in China, you can go onto the China admissions website. That is linked in the bio of Nadia's profile that she's on. So you can go on there and then you can choose the program and just click apply here, create your profile on China admissions, and just be sure to send us your application ID, especially after you pay the application fee. And then you need to upload the necessary documents, and we will check them for you. Once they're ready, we will submit them. And once you've been submitted, it's up to the university whether you get accepted or rejected. And then if you get accepted, the university will go over the further procedures for visa applications, etc. For universities outside of China, the process is similar, except you will go onto my profile, Global Admissions, and to the link in the bio, and then you will do the same thing. Just choose the university and the country you wish to study, the program, and repeat the same process. Just keep in mind that we don't help with visa applications. So we help with applying to the university, whether the university decides that it's going to be online or help you with applying for the visa. That is very much up to between you and the university after you get accepted for the program.